Class 9. Subject Science, Physics. Chapter 8. Force and Laws of Motion. Topic to be learned in this video. First law of motion, inertia and mass. Laws of motion. By observing the motion of objects on an inclined plane, the Galileo first of all said that objects move with a constant speed when no forces act on them. This means if an object is moving on a frictionless path and no other force is acting upon it, the object would be moving forever. That is, there is no unbalanced force working on the object. But practically it is not possible for any object. Because to attain the condition of zero, unbalanced force is impossible. Force of friction, force of air, and many other forces are always acting upon an object. Newton's law of motion. Newton studied the ideas of Galileo and gave the three laws of motion. These laws are known as Newton's laws of motion. Newton's first law of motion. Any object remains in the state of rest or in uniform motion along a straight line until it is compelled to change the state by an applied force. If any object is in the state of rest, then it will remain in rest until an external force is applied to change its state. Similarly, an object will remain in motion until any external force is applied over it to change its state. So all objects resist a change in their state of motion. In a qualitative way, the tendency of undisturbed objects to stay at rest or to keep moving with the same velocity is called inertia. So, the first law of motion is also known as the law of inertia. For example, a person standing in a bus falls backward when bus starts moving suddenly. This happens because the person and bus both are in rest while bus is not moving, but as the bus starts moving, the legs of the person start moving along with bus, but rest portion of his body has the tendency to remain in rest. Because of this, the person falls backward. Let's take other condition. A person standing in a moving bus falls forward if driver applies brakes suddenly. This happens because when bus is moving, the person standing in it is also in motion along with bus. But when driver applies brakes, the speed of bus decreases suddenly or bus comes in the state of rest suddenly. In this condition, the legs of the person which are in contact with the bus come in rest while the rest part of his body have the tendency to remain in motion. Because of this, person falls forward. Inertia and mass. If an object is at rest, it tends to remain at rest. If it is moving, it tends to keep moving. This property of an object is called its inertia. All objects have different inertia. For example, it is easier to push an empty box than a box full of books. Similarly, if we kick a football, it flies away. But if we kick a stone of same size with equal force, it hardly moves. We may get an injured in our foot while doing so. Accordingly, we say that the box full of books has more inertia than the empty box. So it is clear that heavier or more massive objects offer larger inertia. Quantitatively, the inertia of an object is measured by its mass. We may thus relate inertia and mass as follows. Inertia is the natural tendency of an object to resist a change in its state of motion or of rest. The mass of an object is a measure of its inertia. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel.